Hello students, what we're going to do here is set up our research paper. So I have a blank here that you have some files that you can kind of check out in our folder. And what I'm doing is I'm taking some images that I've downloaded and I'm sticking them on a page in the program Adobe InDesign. So basically I'll see them on the left and then I will drag them over onto the right. And then I just basically select the image and drag the corners to the right size. You could use a Word document, you could use a PowerPoint presentation, you could use Google Slides, whatever you're familiar with is fine by me, as long as I have a research document that you've created. So I have different images. A lot of these I found by looking at the title of my play, or title of my story that I chose, which is Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. And then I typed in art. So Taming of the Shrew art, and this is what I got. And I have images from the Utah Shakespearean Festival. I have images from art history. I have drawings from art history. And then here I have a couple little pieces that are from some of the movies that have been created about that play. So I'm kind of lining up a bunch of these here and there. And now I'm going to grab a text box and place, a small type up of some of the things that I'm looking at. I realize now that I didn't go through and finalize this list, but it is in the folder, so you can go and check out all the different pages that I have here. So here we are, we're putting them in there and making it smaller. I'm going to go through and type in the different ones that I've got. So the Utah Shakespearean Festival, that's the one where the lady's biting the guy's thumb. And then the other ones are some spot illustrations. One of my references was Spark Notes online. I did look at Wikipedia for a second, but I mostly use Spark Notes. And I actually have a copy of Taming of the Shrew. So there's the first page, or the first mood board, and that was centered in on the art that relates to my story. My second one here, I am grabbing a group of images now that are from different artists. So your first page is all about art that relates to your story. Your second page is inspirational art that you might try to use to create your piece. So these are the artists, the styles, the things that you might want to make yours look like. So I'm dragging some different images in. I have 3 different artists, and you'll kind of be able to tell, I think, as we go through who they are, and each one has a style that's very distinct, so it's easy to kind of tell the difference between the 3, excuse me. So I'm just trying to place these on here. If you're familiar with any of these programs, usually you can kind of just drag the image on, and then there's little handlebars in the corners, and you can use those to kind of shrink them and lower them in different sizes. And so here we go. Here's the third artist's work. So I've got that here, and I'm kind of putting that together. Grabbing a couple more images. Basically what I'm trying to do, and when you're creating your mood board, what you want to try to do is just go through and fill up the entire page just with some images. 5 is the minimum. You can have more. It's kind of up to you what you can fit. And the idea is just make something that I can see where your influences are. I can see what art you know about related to your story. And then when you put that all together, it just gives me a real good base, and it helps me to know that you are thinking about your story in the right way, and you're getting to the point where you can kind of understand what it is and where it needs to be, what things you need to focus on. If you're missing something in this stage, then we can kind of go through and try to help you out. So that page is done. What I'm doing really quickly is I'm going to type the artists' names in so that you can see who they are. So the first one in the top corner here is Derek Lofman. He's a Canadian artist. He does a lot of fan art stuff, and he's been doing a lot of work for Marvel. The second one here in the middle is Lorenzo Etherington, and you can see his little website there. It's a blog, theetheringtonbrothers.blogs.com, and if you go there, you can see all these images. They have hundreds, and they've put together some books about how to think when you draw, how to think when you write. So there's those two, and then my last one here, I'm going to drag this down to the bottom. The comic that this is from is Head Lopper by Andrew McLean. So he's my third artist. Now, I will say that as I went through and did this tonight, we just ended up watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So I think I might throw that in here too at the end. So I'm just going to do a quick mind map here with the idea that I will probably do a brainstorm because I haven't done that for this yet. So I'm thinking about Taming of a Shrew. I haven't completely read the whole thing yet, but it's a comedy. It's from Shakespeare. It talks about gender roles. There's a power struggle. It's about love. There's a husband. There's a wife. It's also about her sister and the husband's friend. And then there's some servants. The other things that I'm typing in here are everybody's like, what kind of jobs do they have? What place are they in? What time period are they in? What location? And then forget what I typed in there. Oh yes, it's about a misunderstanding. So we'll fix that box so that it fits. And then this part here is what kinds of things am I thinking about? What I'm thinking about trying to do is changing the time period and changing the location. So what if they're Vikings instead of Italians in Verona or Padua or wherever it's set? I think it is Padua. So kind of typing these out. What's their jobs? What's their stations? I'm trying to keep like a simple cartoony kind of look. I'm probably thinking about using a marker and maybe some digital together, but we'll see as we go through. I think that's about it for this one. So I'll see you in the next video, and good luck with your research.